Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of My Panther Pride. Today's something a little bit different. First time collaborating with other creators. Let's welcome to the show, Horns Forward Podcast. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'll go first. Okay. So I'm SAJ, host of Horns Forward Podcast and a little podcast that we do called Texans Talking Football. I'm also known as Loudmouth of the South because I'm kind of known for roasting opponents when you guys come into our home stadium. Well, and even when we come and visit you guys also. We spend a lot of time trash talking, and 90% of the time you see the back of my jersey whenever we do actually show up on TV because I'm always like this. What's up?
Yeah,
you're that guy when everybody hears it, huh?
Oh, he absolutely is.
I'm that guy.
I'm BD. Saying Horns Forward Podcast. 20% of Horns Forward Podcast and 50% of Texans Talking Football.
Yep.
So,
and the rest is made out of bourbon.
yeah. Me and Jay at the home games, we sit, like you said, we sit on the visitor side, so we can absolutely harass the opponents. Actually, have a little story for talking about when we played you guys in the in the home. So we talk about the game. We can bring that up. But yeah, it's great to be on. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for the invite and the collab.
Absolutely,
yeah, man, no problem.
I'm excited to hear what kind of shenanigans you guys had cooked up at the game.
Oh, yeah, touchy subject.
Why don't we jump right into it?
Yeah, I did want to ask. You guys go to every game, I assume.
Every game.
Yep, we did. Yeah.
Are you coming here?
For the regular season last year, I missed one game, and it was our game against DC, and it was because it was my anniversary weekend. But this guy over here, he went to every every regular season game, and then the only game he missed was the conference championship. But we were all at the we had a representative of we call ourselves the Bulls on Tour. But we had a representative of us at every single game this year or last year.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
we're going to do it again this year as well.
Well, April 13th, we better see you when you get here.
We will definitely be up there. That's actually one of the games that I'm looking forward to. I've never been up to Detroit, so.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You got to check out Lafayette, Coney Island. It's about a 10-minute walk from Ford Field.
We got bad news on Lafayette the other day, though, man. You haven't heard?
Oh,
they got hit with a rat thing. So maybe that's not the best place to go when we get here. We can find some other ones.
Yeah.
Well,
but, yeah, they got some. I don't know I don't want to speculate, but I mean, I've heard rat infestation, but it was on the news with rats, and they were told to stop because there was rats. And then there's another Coney Island place, literally that shares a wall. And they're like, "There's no rats there. We share a wall, and we sell the same thing. But there's no reason that we would have rats if they have rats."
Look, if you're down in San Antonio and you want to go to a Mexican food spot, you look for the place with the lowest health scores because that's going to be the best food you're going to have.
Truth. He's not lying.
It's like food trucks; they're kind of the same way.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, just with extra residents in it.
So, hey,
no big deal.
Sometimes welcome.
A little extra protein never hurt anybody.
Yeah, I actually. Go ahead, Lauren.
Do you remember Michael Guerrero from school?
No.
He actually moved down to San Antonio. He lives down there.
Really?
Okay.
He just moved down there about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, right out of high school, I worked with Dizzy on Ice. Believe it or not, I was part of their sales group, and we traveled to a different city every week. It was for a young guy. It was pretty fun. Hotels are paid for, travel's paid for, but. We went to San Antonio, and it was my 19th birthday. And obviously I traveled with all these alcoholics on tour. It was my 21st birthday when we went there. So that was pretty cool. We got in, and pretty much it was like, it's my 21st. I don't have an ID yet, but if I leave, all these people are going to leave. And everybody down there was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. Come on.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember when we used to be 19. Such a long time ago.
Many years ago.
I'm 30.
I remember that.
I'll be 30. My birthday is actually April 7th, so right before you guys are in town for the game.
Yeah.
So I'll be 33 then.
Yep.
Excellent.
I'll be 33 the day this video comes out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
happy early birthday, man.
Happy early birthday, guys. And
Thanks,
I
fellas.
vaguely remember my 30s too.
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Oh man.
So, one thing I hopefully I can come through on this promise. We'll see what happens. But we do have a local brewery here that cans one of their kind of special brews that they have in Brahmas colors. I don't have one, BD. If you want to show them the can, when we come up, if we have them, we'll be bringing you guys some of these.
I think we are out now.
No, that's not.
There's some speculation that they might be teaming up with the breweries for something, but I don't know. But if there's if there's a Brahmas beer available, we will definitely bring you guys one. We had a thing last year. Every game we went to, we brought a Brahmas beer.
Mhm.
So we've got pictures of the entire league, fans of the entire league, like drinking a Brahmas beer
That's
at
awesome.
all the tailgates we went to. So
including the one Michigan fan that showed up to the game last year. Well, that we saw.
It was two.
Yeah.
It was two Michigan fans, but it was a couple. So it was one group of Michigan fans.
We got
I
a great
don't-
thing going on here. Why we don't gotta go anywhere?
I don't think the woman was actually a fan. I think she was a fan because he was a fan.
I mean, it was a couple, yeah. So
She had that
Her with the
captive
jersey.
look. So
Yeah, I'll have to wear the jersey.
yes,
I'll have the whole family wear all their jerseys because I got custom jerseys made for me, my girlfriend, all the kids.
nice.
So
That's crazy.
Well,
Is the beer good?
yeah, it's a pretty
it's
solid beer.
a golden ale. So
Hesitation.
I mean, this one was a golden ale. So it's
Well-
it's a lighter beer.
No, I'm just kidding.
Um,
Okay.
It
All right.
depends on what you consider a good beer to be. If you're like what am I thinking of? Like a stout or something like that. Well, this isn't going to hit the same way. But
Very
if you're
objective.
a fan of, if you're a fan of a lighter beer, kind of along in, well, any of the top ones, it definitely blows away. Like, Miller, Budweiser, any of those, totally blows them out of the water. It has a lot of character to it. It's not too hoppy. It's not too malty. It's just a good golden ale, nice and refreshing. You don't want to drink like 10 or 12 like BD and I do, but they're a good, enjoyable beer.
All right. Sounds like a good spring beer. Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It actually is. It's nice and refreshing. On those long tailgates.
Yep.
I'm a dark beer fan, but you can only drink so many Guinnesses like at 2 p.m. when it's 95 degrees outside.
They
I
tend
mean-
to weigh you down, man.
Yeah.
So,
So
out of your guys'
You guys-
4 home games, what times do they fall at?
So we've got one game that's at 2:00. It's on a Saturday. We've got 2 Friday night games at 7, and then we got an 11 a.m. game. So
Okay.
yeah, so not horrible.
Sure.
Yeah, like we have April 18th against the Showboats. It's 8 p.m. April 4th, 8 p.m. against the Stallions. Against you guys, it's noon.
Yeah.
And then our home game against the Defenders is noon as well. And then 3 p.m. against the Roughnecks.
Yeah. So
okay,
again,
so y'all are on Eastern time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
what?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh, that's
we're on,
right,
like,
you guys.
We're on normal Central time.
Yeah,
so-
we're on normal.
Normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people that we've talked to, they're definitely in different time zones than us.
Oh yeah.
And we get the late end of the stick every time. It's like, how many
Yeah.
hours do we have to start this early? No.
Right.
It was nice. I was actually my sister and her husband and his family. They live in South Carolina. We went over to visit, a few years ago for Christmas and stuff, and it was actually kind of nice, like starting football at 11 o'clock.
When I was in the military, I was in the Navy, and I was stationed in Seattle, well, right outside of Seattle. and it was awesome. Your football day starts when you wake up, and you don't have like here. You're like struggling for the night game or anything that happens. Any sports, you're just like, oh, this game needs to hurry up. Overtime, you're like, there's no way. There's no way. I can't go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, the 8 o'clock Lions games, I'd usually only make it to like halftime, and I'd have to catch the highlights in the morning because I get up at 4 a.m. for work.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Ugh. That's like
I was going to ask, man, do you guys, y'all's team do anything with any local breweries up there or anything like that?
I haven't seen anything. No,
not really. Like that's something I think that our team's kind of lacking in is
outreach.
Local outreach and building relationships here. Like they've done a couple of like charitable things like book bag drives and stuff like that I've seen, but no real big like partnerships with local businesses or anything like that.
I kind of think that's it's a little bit kind of across the board from what we've seen. I think that the league is trying to be better about that. Just kind of from what I heard, just talking to people and stuff. And I do think that's something that the league's absolutely has to have to succeed. But I've got a Defenders beer. I've got a Battle Chicken beer. So if you guys get something, add it to my shelf over here.
Well, I'll have to do some digging now. Try finding it because there's a million breweries down there. So
yeah, or maybe you could be the one who bridges that gap, right?
Yeah, there we go.
So
that's what I feel like. There's just like a disconnect almost. I think not to hate on it, but I feel like because we have Ford Field, it's kind of like we're almost not hinging everything on that, but that's a big draw for the crowd, and they're not really doing the legwork to get everybody in. That's why it's like almost dry around here. There's nobody. There's not a lot going on.
There's not many people that know about the Panthers. Like I didn't know about them before the beginning of the season last year. I stumbled onto them about 2 weeks before the season started and fell in love with the team.
Yeah.
And I've been talking about it at work and anybody that I've talked to, and they're just like, what? Huh? Another football team that plays at Ford Field? And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's $20. You can't miss it. You got to check it out.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing. We same thing. People at work, friends, random people. I wear Brahmas gear all the time, and I think we've all kind of done that, and just to get the league out there and stuff. And we say it all the time. Just get one person to come, and the games are so much fun that you'll be hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually trying to organize a bus trip to the Brahmas game.
Okay.
I'm trying to get 50, 55 people on a bus, go down there, fill out the 50-yard line section, and then there's also some perks. You know what I'm saying?
You'll get to hang out with us.
After the game, and we'll be able to hang out with you guys. So
fair warning, BD and I are the guys who specifically bought tickets behind the visitors bench, 50-yard line right against the rail. That way, whoever comes in and visits is going to have to deal with us, So, and really, we're not like, we joke about it. We're not really that bad. Like, we're not hurling personal insults or anything like that. But like, if a quarterback misses a step and throws a high ball or something, he's going to get it. Okay. If you have a defender that misses a block, he's going to get it, So we're there waiting for those opportunities just to be that annoying, nagging voice. Right. Because that's what the home field advantage should be. It doesn't have to be personal. It doesn't have to be, mean direct attacks or anything. But we're going to talk some trash, and we're going to try and get in your heads, and we're going to try and mess you guys up, because that's, again, what the home field advantage is all about. Right. Now, that being the case, should we go ahead and launch into our story?
That's what I was going to say. I think that's the perfect time for us to talk about it.
B, you want it?
Yeah, I'll take it. So yeah, this is the fourth quarter of the game, and it was a pretty close game. We only won by 10 points, and we've been talking trash like the entire game, and it's probably halfway through the fourth quarter. We were up, and I think it was the defense was on the sidelines, and they were all huddled up and stuff, and talking to the coach. And me and Jay, we just started yelling at him, just give up. just give up. It's over. Don't worry about it. It's over. Just give up. Give up. Don't listen to him. It's over. And one of the guys, he was kind of in the back of the huddle. He got so pissed off at us that basically he told us to F off and was like, what is that? Come meet me in the parking lot. I'll see you in the parking lot.
I'll see you guys in the parking lot.
Yeah.
No, he got under your skin like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you got under his skin, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I don't remember what number it was or who he was, but
Yeah, but
Did
we
you
agitated him.
did you cheer? We got him.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, once you knew you had him, it was like, oh, okay, now
Yep.
let's play a little bit, right?
Yep.
But we knew when he broke huddle, because then nothing else, he didn't hear anything from any of the coaching staff, any of his teammates, anything. All he could hear was BD and I railing on him, and that's all he focused on, right? And so it was like, man, that's what they're gonna do in the pros. Like you think we're bad, go to Philly, right?
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, go to one of
Gonna
those
be way
aggressive
worse.
teams. Oh yeah. And that's where they're going to insult your mom, your dad, your third cousin twice removed. Like they're going to rip everybody. They're going to throw batteries at you. Like those fans are filthy, right? We're just kind of getting you warmed up. And so if you're going to break on like us, right?
You failed the test at that point.
Yeah, maybe
Right.
maybe
And,
some desensitivity training.
Yeah. We've had quite a few, guys that have kind of yelled at us and sworn at us and stuff like that. So,
Coaching staff included.
coaching staff included. Yep.
You want
Jay,
which team?
Jay got one of the Arlington coaching staff.
Yeah, I got them all mad because so they bring in their own equipment, right? They have their own headsets, all that stuff, the transmitters, all that good stuff. And I guess he was having a problem. It was the offensive coordinator for Arlington, and he was having a problem. Pretty big dude, right? I'm
Looked
5'8".
like Goldberg.
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all may be too young for that reference. I
Although
don't
we
know.
know who Bill
I
Goldberg
know who
is.
Goldberg is.
There you go. But pretty big dude. And I'm just ripping on him, and I'm like, hey, tune it to channel 3. It's got better music, right? I'm just jacking with him, and because again he's having problems, so he's coming over to the sideline, and he was like, "What'd you say?" And I was like, "Tune it to channel 3." And he comes a little bit closer and says it again, and so again I repeat myself. Then he gets right up to the rail, and he's like, "What'd you say?" And I was like, "I said tune it to channel 3. I'm just messing with you, man. Like, what's the deal?" And he's like, "Oh, I just wanted to see if you were going to say something or not." I'm like, "Well, I'm right here, baby. What's up?"
Yeah, no.
And then you could see like he kind of, like he started getting that reaction, and then he's like, "No, I'm just going to walk away."
Yeah.
I gotta keep it professional.
Gotcha. Yep.
He stopped it last second though. It sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we've had all kinds of interactions. I mean, we've even like when our head coach, and I'll admit this, right? Because again, we're gonna don't mind that. We're gonna support our home team. Back when Hines Ward was coaching our team and Wade Phillips was the coach of Houston, when they came over to visit the first time, we were ripping Phillips halfway across the field. We were already talking trash. And that one was kind of funny because we were like, hey, Wade. And we finally got his attention. He looked up and like he was going to see friendly faces and he was getting ready to wave. And we were like, you're going to lose. And he was like, oh, man.
Such a letdown.
Yeah, that was fun. And thankfully, hopefully he doesn't remember because he's been nice to us every time that we've talked to him.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I wanted to kind of go back on, you guys were talking about, kind of the disconnect between you guys, like the hardcore fan base and, the team and then the general public, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things I think that at least helped us out, we kind of suffered through the AAF days with the San Antonio Commanders. Great
the
product,
app, the tracking app. Yeah, I was there, man.
Yes. Incredible product. Bad financing left a very sour taste in everybody's mouth.
Awesome potential, though, man.
Oh, yeah. Because of that, there was still interest in football. And so we had a bunch of people kind of watching and waiting and seeing what the next thing was. So as soon as it was made public that San Antonio was getting a team, the phone lines were already buzzing. People were already talking. And we did a lot of grassroots stuff, right? We were putting together get-togethers, just all kinds of stuff to help kind of drive it. And then, of course, we have arguably, and we're biased, okay, but we have arguably one of the best ticket reps in the business with the San Antonio Brahmas, and that's James Carr III. He has been instrumental in doing things, charitable events, representing the team and the league, but just all kinds of stuff, right? And to make that connection, I really think you guys need, something like that. You guys doing this podcast, that's a great grassroots effort to start bringing people in to connect with this team that they know nothing about. Right. Maybe trying to get a connection with a ticket rep or something like that to help you make connections with the team, and then encourage them to go out and start doing some charitable stuff, or you guys start setting some charitable stuff up with your ticket rep, the backpack drive you guys are talking about, do a local food drive or something like that, and make sure that the Michigan Panthers are kind of front and center on that. And that usually helps out a lot also. But I think you guys, and it's a unique situation because you have such a great location that you're playing football, such a sordid history. Lions suck. I said it. I don't care. I'm a Packers fan. Okay. I'm from Milwaukee. I don't care.
You know what? We're 21 minutes into this episode. I'm surprised it took that long. So
I was trying to be nice. I couldn't hold back.
I kind of had my own over under that I was saying I was saying under 10. So I lost that one.
So that I would have won. But again, you have Ford Field, right? And there's so many stories that go along with that place. So now you have this new team that can kind of capitalize on that, but still have an opportunity to make their own name, right? So this is where, again, guys like you can jump in with that grassroots effort and really start kind of pushing the fan base towards it.
Right.
And then the other thing that we're trying to encourage everybody around the league to do is to support the league in general, right? Yeah. Teams like Michigan, who, obviously you guys had a little bit of a rough year last year. You can bounce back from that this year, though, right?
Yeah,
every new season is a new opportunity, like truly, because half your players may not even be coming back. You may be getting all new folks. You may even get new coaching staff. But this is a great opportunity for all of us together, right? We're going to have our rivalries, and we're going to, have our frenemies, if you will. And, obviously we're going to, poke at each other and whatever. But that's the great thing about it, is that we're still here supporting each other. So yeah, granted, I'm probably not, necessarily the biggest Houston fan, but opening day weekend, I'm probably going to be in Houston Friday night and then go over to Arlington Saturday morning. Yeah, it's about a 250-mile drive. For Texas, that's, kind of average, right? Because Texas is huge. You guys are probably going to have a little bit more of a disadvantage because your next closest team is going to be what? St. Louis?
Yeah.
And nobody wants to go to the chicken coop. Okay. But there's opportunities there for you guys to reach out to folks like us, right? Make those connections and use those connections to help make other connections, right? You may know X amount of people in, the Michigan proper area, or the Detroit proper area, if you will. But somebody from St. Louis may know some other people that you guys don't know. And if you make connections with the ones in St. Louis, then they're telling their friends, hey man, you guys got to go check out this game and go hang out with these two dudes here, man. They got it going on, right? It's all about that networking thing. It's all about the grassroots. So I highly encourage you guys to, and how long has your podcast been on? How many seasons?
We just started. This will be episode 10, but it's actually the 11th show.
Perfect.
Because we had one with Devin Ross that is Inside the Hunt series. That's what we're calling it.
Okay.
Anytime we interview a player, it's called Inside the Hunt.
Okay. We like that. Again, you guys are starting out, fairly fresh. You probably had way more experience with podcasting stuff than me and this guy did. We still remember the MySpace days. So
AOL, AIM.
There you go. Oh, heck yeah, man. IRC, baby. Let's go. This is a perfect opportunity, right? Because again, you guys are new. You bring a new, fresh perspective, because I don't really know of anybody else that's doing anything in Michigan. No other podcasts. Now, we'll cover Michigan when we talk about, the league in general. but we're not going to focus on it because obviously we're Brahmas fans. And, you know, obviously we're Texas football fans, except for me, who's a Green Bay Packers fan. You know, you guys having this fresh perspective. Oh, hey, there you go. There you go. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Not that score, though. I hate that. I hate that.
That's brutal.
That.
Dang.
You see how he baited you in?
Did
Got
it
you
like
on his
that,
side.
man.
And
And then switch it up on you.
as much as NFC rivalries, as strong as they can be, I will give you guys credit. Barry Sanders is the all-time best running back ever, bar none.
Thank you. It takes a lot for a lot of people. I'll tell you that much.
Oh man, twice
Especially
a year.
Green Bay fans.
Twice a year for 10 years, I had to deal with it.
I will say,
You know?
when I went last year to Lambeau, you guys were awesome. And nobody was angry. Nothing. Everybody was. People were buying us beers. People were super cool there. I was like, man, it was way different than you think of when it's like a rivalry game.
Yeah,
But
it
it was
a bunch of drunks, man.
The Lions
We
were
don't
blooming too, so you guys were like kind of like tapping a good job, you know.
Yeah.
Do
Good job.
thing. Yeah. Now you're like, all right, come on, stop.
Yeah, now you guys can go home.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, we're not going to, I don't know if we're going into NFL too much and I want to spend too much time talking about that, but there's definitely not good things happening in Lambeau. We'll just put it that way. But I was a fan during the 1980s when we were absolute trash. So this is nothing compared to that. I can survive this. Okay. I survived that. So it'll be fine.
Tread water all day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But no, again, keep doing what you guys are doing, right? Keep making those connections, keep pushing for events, and really start with the fans, right? We started out small. We rented out a park because there was about 25 of us, 30 of us, BD, that, you know, we're kind of still all connected from the Commanders days. So we used that to bring people in to come check out the new team. And then we made connections with like ticket reps and stuff at the team. And then so when we did I want to say it was our third get together, we actually had a ticket rep bring a game jersey. We had nobody.
No, that was the first.
Was that the first one?
Yeah, the first fan of it. Because we had a couple like get-togethers and like meetings or whatever at, you know, like the local Mexican joint and stuff. But we got rented out a little pavilion at a park, and you know, we had a gift drive because it was, you know, December time or whatever. You know, had like a Santa gift drive, and we had, you know, a couple food vendors come, and we weren't doing our podcast yet, but one of the other podcasts for one of our other teams, the Smoking Guns, they came and did a show, and we shared the hell out of it. And yeah, one of the ticket reps actually came and brought a jersey, you know, from the team, like a legit actual jersey. We're like, nice. Holy crap.
Yep. And that was the first time that any of our fans had laid eyes on the jersey. And that's an incredible thing, right?
Yeah.
Obviously everybody's seen New Jersey, you know, that part, you know, has kind of already taken care of itself, but making those connections, leaning on, you know, the networking side of it, getting those opportunities to talk to people that you might not otherwise, you know, and really just kind of getting your name out there gives you guys credibility. And it helps you with that grassroots effort, like I said, to be able to connect to a bunch of other people who otherwise may not know anything about this team, you know?
They need a middleman. Definitely.
I've talked to a couple different ticket reps. There's two up here that I've talked to. One's name's Dave and the other one's Alec. They've both been pretty helpful, especially with that group event that I'm trying to plan to get to the San Antonio game.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like they've talked about, like, if we get so many people, we can either do like high fives in the tunnel before the game, or we could stay after the game and meet the players and get autographs and pictures. So,
okay.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And, you know, stuff like that, you know, like Jay said, that just goes to increasing like the visibility of y'all's team, of the league.
And solidifying the fans that are already going. So they're like, okay, now I'm real invested. I went in there and I met XYZ, and this rep is really cool, and they let us do whatever, and they brought us a jersey to our tailgate, or, you know.
Yeah.
One of my best
you know,
memories.
you want to kind of get in, you know, talk to the season ticket reps, do stuff like at schools, you know, we did like school supply giveaway thing with our ticket rep James Carr. You know, do some ticket giveaways if you can. Like, you know, give out some tickets. You get a kid that wants to come to this game that's going to drag his parents to this game. You know, kid falls in love with the team. Then you know you got a fan for life there, and
you got a family.
He's bringing his parents along too. So
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, one of my favorite memories from last season is getting a mini helmet signed by Jake Bates.
There you go.
Like, that was kind of like one of the highlights for me, besides for taking the kids. Like, that was my personal highlight from it, was getting Jake Bates to sign that helmet. Even though I don't have it, I gifted it away to somebody in my family that was a big fan of the Panthers and Jake Bates, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's one cool thing about the league is, you know, you have that opportunity a lot of times, a lot more than what you get, you know, for an NFL team and stuff, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, occasionally you'll get, you know, a player that'll come up and sign stuff, you know, NFL, you see that a little bit, but I mean, these players for the Brahmas and imagine you guys too, like, they love kind of just hanging out, and they'll stand around and sign stuff for kids just for after the game a lot. So you know,
the players that I've reached out to and that have talked, like, messaged back, they've all been real awesome, like, to work with and to talk to. They, you know, they're normal people like you and me trying to make a living. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when we had Devin Ross on, he was just so easy to talk to. He made that, I feel like he made that show really special.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it was cool to have my kid come on and talk to him, because he's a young athlete too, and he got to talk to him about, like, what motivates him and if he could play a different position, and ask him a few questions himself. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, you saw the flex, right? There's a couple of different reasons why I did that. Obviously, you know, it's my team. But Tutem Bramasita, she and I went up to Austin and actually had Jordan Williams do our tattoos. So when you get a chance, swing by the Facebook page, check out her post about it. She got this really cool, like, quarter sleeve on her forearm.
I actually watched that episode, or listened to that episode today while I was at work getting some background on you guys.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah. And
doing some homework.
That's a player that we're now connected with, right?
Right.
I don't know very many people in the league that can actually say they had a player do their tattoo. There's two of them that we know of, though.
Very little. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Right.
But again, that's what, like, BD is saying. The nice thing about this league is that you can still connect with these guys on a pretty significant level, right? We have you know, quite a few of the players, past and present, that, you know, follow the show, watch us every now and then. Coaches pop in and you know, check on us and see what we're doing. But it's because, again, you know, we've made those connections. It's not, you know, necessarily because we're super entertaining or anything. I'd like to think we are, but I mean, let's be real, right? We're not paid professionals. We're just, you know, fans having fun.
Yeah.
But knowing that, you know, you can connect with these people, and BD and I talk about it on one of our shows a lot, or I say it a lot. One of these guys could be the next Kurt Warner story, right? Jake Bates could be that next Kurt Warner story. Although, I mean, he kind of skipped over the arena football part of it and bagging groceries at Pick and Save or whatever, and just kind of went straight into, you know, from UFL straight into the NFL, and then just killed it. Ugh, that guy.
Well, he was a brick salesman before that.
Okay, well, see, there you go.
Yeah, and he was right there in Houston.
Yeah, and he could wind up being a Hall of Famer now in the NFL.
Yeah.
So we could be watching that next Kurt Warner story unfold in front of us. And that's the cool thing about it, is that these are you know, guys that are, you know, grinding and sacrificing and still, you know, doing stuff to pay the bills and whatever else, you know, because they're so driven by that dream to be a professional football player, right? A guy like Kurt Warner, you know, he never gave up. And yeah, he was bagging groceries, and then he wound up playing for the Iowa the Iowa Barnstormers, and then, you know, St. Loser, and went on to have a Hall of Fame career. Yeah. You know, those stories could be unfolding right in front of our eyes. You know, So that kind of stuff gets me excited. That's why I like watching these players, and that's why I like really, kind of learning about their past and where they're at and everything. Such as your new kicker that you guys have that we were just talking about before we started recording, right?
Yeah.
Because somebody's got to replace Jake Bates, and it sure isn't going to be us. So the new kicker you guys have, 99.6% accuracy, if I remember what the stats had said from his time in Clemson. Mm-hmm. So this may be the next Jake Bates, right? We may really have to worry about your kicking game again, So there's just, all these really cool stories that are unfolding in front of us that we get to, be a part of. And are most of them going to make it? The reality is probably not. I mean, you have less than a 1% chance of becoming a professional football player. But that still means there's a chance, right? Mm-hmm. You still have an opportunity.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah.
Oh, there's always a chance. So.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess at this point, do we want to talk about the game last season?
I mean, if you guys want to talk about it.
I mean,
we won, so we'll gladly talk about it. No, I will say that game was it was a good game overall. Obviously we're biased because we won. Mm-hmm. But Michigan did a lot better than what we thought they were going to do. I know we were still kind of.
We feel the same way about you.
Well,
at that point, at week 4.
Yeah, week 4, you guys weren't looking too hot.
I mean, we were
2-1, but
2-1 because we had just lost to St. Louis the week before. But I mean, we had a strong.
We were both 2-1 going into that game because we had one loss to Birmingham.
Yeah, because our first week we won, we beat DC. Second week was our Memphis game, that's the one that we miraculously won, kind of the last minute of the game and stuff, which was an absolute fun game to be at in Memphis. That's a whole other story. And then we lost to St. Louis, and then we came to play you guys. It was after we're still trying to figure out what our team was. I think it was the second game that Dormady started because the quarterback who shall not be named had gotten hurt the previous game, and so we're trying. Like I said, we're like, oh great, because I know the first season of the Brahmas we went through 5 quarterbacks. I think it was oh god, here we go again. But,
it was bad being a San Antonio fan. And not to take a shot at Hines Ward or anything like that. Hines Ward is great for what he did, but he's definitely no Wade Phillips. He's not at that point yet or anything like that. He needs time to develop and become the coach that everybody thinks he should be.
And I feel like they put him in there kind of as not a publicity stunt, but like a morale boost.
He was
his name carries weight.
Big name, Hall of Fame, NFL wide receiver, Super Bowl winner, all that. I mean,
and he did have some coaching experience, at least in the back in the shadows with the San Antonio Commanders. He was connected with that, but that was more like a player development coach type role. And you take him from that and then put him right into the spotlight when he's never had that kind of experience.
Right.
Now, the players said that they loved, working with him because he was good at talking with them and, pointing out things and
player
kind
development.
Yes, the player development side of things. But the actual head coaching, calling plays, getting that draw out of people, that's the part that he still needed to kind of refine and work. Whereas, Wade Phillips has been doing football for 1,000 years, right? Yeah. So it's just easy for, you don't even have to go in and talk to him. When you walk in and it's Wade Phillips, you're like, okay, yes, sir, whatever you say, sir.
I heard a rumor
for the team. How much?
He was part of the Rough Riders with Teddy Roosevelt.
He was. That's why he went to the Roughnecks for a little bit.
Yeah.
He just got lost. He thought he was back with Teddy and everything. But no, again, that was, last season was, when we first started out, we're 2-1, going into the game with you guys, and we're like, okay, are we picking up momentum here? You know, what's actually going on? The team is still kind of struggling to find their identity. And then when we played that
just got
Michigan,
hurt in week 3 too, didn't he?
week 2, right?
Week 2. Okay.
That was the Memphis game where he tried to tackle leading with the top of his head.
Yeah.
You know, and that was, you know, kind of concerning because, again, BD and I talked about him before and trying to figure out kind of, you know, he's great on these YouTube videos and he can kick, you know, 850 yards over those mountains there. And all that stuff is as a little Napoleon Dynamite reference, by the way. On paper, he was good. We didn't know what he was actually going to be able to do because, again, he wasn't really, you know, much of a punter in his college career. So it was kind of like, okay, how is this going to translate out? And then, you know, big game in Memphis. Obviously, our quarterback gets hurt, and then we've got the replacement guy comes in and absolutely blows it up. But in the meantime, then our star kicker gets hurt, and it's like, okay, what's going on? All these different moving pieces. So going into that Memphis or that Michigan game, you know, we were kind of concerned. How are things going to work out here? What is Michigan going to look like? How is our team going to adjust? You know, with some of these key injuries having happened, and I mean, I think it worked out pretty good because, you know, we kind of went on a little bit of a roll there. And, you know, the 19-9 win was nice for us, obviously. But it was also kind of like, maybe Michigan isn't as bad as, you know, kind of what we were thinking that you guys would be. I mean, you definitely put up a serious fight.
Yeah.
And you know, we knew you guys were kind of a solid team coming in. I mean, what y'all beat Battle Chicken's first game of the season, and like I said, I mean, you guys are 2-2.
It was close.
That was that 66-yarder or whatever, right?
64.
64. Oh, sorry. You know, gave him a little too much credit.
Sorry. Yeah.
But you know, I mean, that was kind of one of our first tests. You know, obviously, like I said, we had lost previously to St. Louis, and all right, well, let's see how we stack up. And so, you know, once we kind of, I mean, came away with a 10-point win, you know, which, I mean, it was a substantial win. Like, all right, maybe we are a good team this year. So,
yeah.
And I mean, in our eyes, we got 3 losses. Well, I guess 4, but 3 regular season losses, and they both teams ended up battling for it all. So, as a Michigan fan, you're like, oh, okay, you know, and in the rearview mirror, it's easier to settle down on that. But I mean, not that it was a bad loss or anything. Like you said, it was a good game, but still, looking back, you're like, okay, all right, well, we got some work to do.
True, but I mean, let's look at that final game of the season. And granted, it's final game of the season, you know, getting ready to go into the playoffs. But I don't think Birmingham necessarily laid off, and you only lost by 1 point in that game.
If Bryce Perkins wouldn't have got hurt in that game, I see the season ending completely differently.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Week 10 and the conference championship.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, we put a skunking on them in San Antonio. Maybe it might have been a little bit different if we played in Birmingham. Maybe not. I'd like to think, and hopefully we'll find out this year that Birmingham isn't as great as what they think they are. But again, back to the Michigan team. I mean, you know, you guys had a pretty solid record, and any of the losses that you had, it wasn't like it was a, you know, major loss. I think, you know,
they were all fights.
Yeah, you're 2 of your losses were to Birmingham. And you know, the first game was 2013, second game 2019. And then the only other loss you had of the season was, you know, to us. But every other game, you know, maybe minus the Roughnecks game on May 26th, where it's probably a little bit closer than what it should have been. Well, then the Arlington one, 28-27.
Yeah, the Arlington game, I was at that game to see. I was pretty nervous. I thought we were about to lose that one, but then we marched Jake Bates out there at the end, and I was like, everything's
there.
Okay.
You go. Yeah, but Arlington's a sneaky team like that, right? You expect them to do well, and then they don't do well, and then when you expect them to fall apart, then they sneak in a win, and you're like, the heck's going on here, man? And I think a lot of it has to do with the coaching. Bob Stoops, like him or not, he's a pretty decent coach, right?
No.
This guy can't stand him.
Hard no. Huh?
Yeah.
Hard
And then
hard no.
yeah. And then Luis Perez has been around, in spring football in some way, shape, or form for like 35 years. So the guy knows what he's doing. As long as he's got receivers to catch and a line to block, he's going to produce some numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So
isn't
it's hard to
Luis
ever
Perez
tell what they're going to
also
do.
the quarterback that taught himself how to QB off of YouTube?
It could be. I really
I
didn't want
haven't
to do
heard
any
that, but I
research on.
mean, yeah, it wouldn't
Me neither.
surprise me.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I will definitely look that up.
Actually taught himself how to QB off of YouTube.
Okay, well, more
Well, now
power
they
to
got-
him.
Yeah, now they got those like the VR stuff, so people are going through all kinds of crazy training just in their living room. It's kind of
Yeah.
wild.
But he still plays for Arlington, so
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
not really going to take that too seriously.
The best thing they got going is their color, I think.
Yeah. The
Oh,
light blue. The light blue and
Wow.
black looks okay.
Nah,
I mean, it's
Oh.
it's close.
little baby powder blue.
Yeah.
yeah, baby powder blue, man. But speaking of which, going back to Arlington, right, and the grassroots, something I just thought of when we started talking about them. So San Antonio has a friendly rivalry with Arlington that was all started with the grassroots, right? It's the I-35 rivalry. And then Houston, if they would have stuck around in the XFL division, it would have been the I-10 rivalry. But it all starts with the fans, right? And then now the league is actually taking notice of that rivalry. That's, I think, maybe one of the reasons why it's one of the opening weekend games is because of the friendly rivalry that we started with them.
Yeah, and so what and this is all credit to 210 Brahmasita and kind of she's kind of like the mama hen of the Horns Forward podcast. She keeps us all in line. But they set it up with the Banditos, the Arlington fans up there. That we're going to do this rivalry, and they actually had a hat made. Half of it is Brahmas, half of it's Arlington colors and stuff, and whoever wins the game gets to keep the hat.
Take the hat.
Keep the hat, and so
Dragon
brought
right
it
up.
home both times last year. But actually, before the opening game, we're going up there that night before, and we're gonna have like a little pep rally with Brahmas fans and the Arlington fans, and we'll have the hat on display, and we're not giving it back because we're obviously gonna win the game. But
See,
we'll
they're doing spring
let 'em look
football
at 'em
right
over
down there in Texas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a religion down here, so go figure. But stuff like that, find you guys a rivalry and start calling the fans out, right? Like me and this guy, as soon as we found out that San Antonio had the team, within a day, maybe two, we had
the day of.
Yeah, we had infiltrated the lines and gone straight to St. Louis.
Yep.
And hey, thanks for having us here. We appreciate you guys letting us join your page. You all suck, Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was just about that bad. And we told them, we're like, hey, look, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna rile you guys up and everything like that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about making these connections and stuff. And San Antonio had, by far the best attendance in the AAF. And then, St. Louis obviously had the best attendance. I was expecting us to get those same kinds of numbers here in San Antonio. That didn't exactly work out. Like we had a huge dip from our 30-something thousand with the Commanders down to about 12 to 15.
Yeah.
But it's still new and it's still building, right? But because of that, again, making more connections, more eyes are on your city and more people are talking about it, which then means more people in general are going to start paying attention, right? So, again, it's all that grassroots stuff. It's, if you're willing to work hard and tap into those grassroots movements, you're definitely going to see results come back from it. People out in the public are going to start noticing, right?
Yep.
Talking trash on friendly trash. Let me clarify that. On different Facebook pages, jumping in as a guest on different. Oh, don't mind my co-host here. But going and popping in on other people's podcasts and introducing yourself, making friends, and then talking trash. Encouraging your ticket reps to do stuff out in the general public and be there to support it. Right, all those different grassroots things are going to make a huge difference in you growing that brand in Detroit there and making actual connections. So I'm excited for you guys. I know again, we talked about your season and you guys were mentioning some of the names and stuff that are on the roster. I'm kind of foaming at the mouth a little bit because some of those names are pretty good names. So I don't think that Michigan is going to be a slouch of a team this next year for sure, right? Arguably, you might be able to even lead the USFL side of the UFL. But now these are those times where you can start talking to people and be like, "Hey, man, we signed such and such, and here's why this is so important." Or, "Hey, I noticed such and such is on the roster." And, that's a good thing because he did this, last year with this other team or whatever. Like if you guys get some guys.
Just getting the conversation moving, really. Just start.
Yeah.
Most people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys, Jay kind of touched on, with the changes in the roster, you guys were, number 2 in the USFL. Do you guys feel like y'all have made the changes that now y'all can overtake Birmingham and take that top spot in your conference?
I honestly think we have a very good chance of that, mainly because we have a lot of people returning. And Birmingham is kind of like you guys, where over half their team has been revamped. So now these people don't have as much of a veteran presence in the locker room, and they don't have that team chemistry that Michigan does. We have a lot of vets coming back, and they can just lead these younger guys that are going to be, they might be starters, but they still need to develop more.
Yeah.
And even the rooms that did get, like the wide receiver room, got a lot of additions, really. And so the rooms that did get new additions, they're still, for the most part, held whole who was there.
You still have your core guys.
Yeah,
you're just added onto there.
You're incorporating people. They may end up leading your roster, which a lot of them are, expected to, but they're still additions to the roster, not just like an overhaul. So that's what we've talked about a lot, and we're feeling comfortable about the chemistry and everything moving forward, able to build off the first season.
Right. We have a lot of our whole coaching staff is coming back. We don't have no changes in coaching staff. We have, 3 quarterbacks coming back. 1 that was drafted that's new, but we have 3 of our returning quarterbacks. Most of our receivers are returning. Our running back group staying about the same. So our offense is looking pretty sharp.
And our D-line is
where we're rebuilding a little bit.
Yeah, but our D-line is staying pretty whole. But yeah, as a whole, I feel like we're able to progress off what we've done, and especially with them having to not necessarily rebuild it, but more so retool it than we have had to.
Oh yeah. Well, and you guys are right. That's going to make a huge difference when it comes to, time to play, ball in, a couple of months here.
Mm-hmm.
Having those connections, having that chemistry, knowing what, your guy that's going to be to your right and your guy that's going to be to your left are going to be doing without having to think too much about it is going to allow each player to focus on their job and what it lends itself to for the overall, production of the team. So yeah, you guys are going to have a bit of an advantage there for sure. And we're going to struggle a little bit potentially. Although I think Kellen Mond is kind of the answer to our prayers. Hopefully he's not like he who shall not be named. And, we're definitely with Coach Phillips at the helm and him being such a defensive minded person. I truly believe our defense is going to be even nastier than it was last year. The offense is still kind of questionable. Just because we are making some changes at some kind of key positions, right. Quarterback being one of them. But I'm hopeful that again, with Wade kind of leading the charge there and just how easy and how down to earth he is and how he just commands respect without having to really do anything. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to help us hopefully bridge some of those gaps that we would otherwise run into.
So
And
with
we'll see
all
what
that being
happens.
with all that being said, are you guys going to remain atop the XFL?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Well,
Love it.
yeah, I think we're going to remain atop the UFL. So, you know, we'll get that title that we should have won last year, but you know, he who shall not be named decided to lay down on us and give up the whole thing. You know,
So
and
San Antonio, Michigan championship.
Hey, that'd
that
be nice.
that could be. Hey, it makes sense because we both have covered stadiums, and we both need a covered stadium to play in for the championship game. So why not?
There
You
we
know?
go.
I don't
So
mind making it a road game.
How do you think they're going to do the championship game this year? Do you have any speculations on that? You think it's going to be like a home field advantage kind of thing or a neutral site?
No, I think they're going to do a neutral site. Obviously, the early rumor was DC, but I guess they ran into a bunch of stuff with the World
The
Cup
MLS and FIFA and stuff.
the soccer stuff. So that got turned away. I guess kind of the new rumor is maybe Birmingham, but God, I mean, who wants to go to
Birmingham in the middle
Birmingham
of June?
anyways? Who wants to go?
No, thank
who wants
you.
to be at Birmingham in the middle of June in a freaking open stadium? And I mean, we see the side, that's only half. They only stack half in there, but the other side, you just blazing sun. So that just sounds absolutely miserable.
Yeah, not the place for a championship.
Yeah, not St. Louis, because St. Louis is absolutely terrible. Worst championship host ever. When we hosted the XFL championship, we were great and friendly, and we actually showed up. So obviously, I think it would be great to have the championship in San Antonio again. I mean, you guys, y'all have a covered stadium as well, or a dome as well. So
Ford Field would be nice for the championship.
it would be, So, but I mean, who knows what's going on for up there at that time as well. But I'm curious what they pick. I'll be annoyed if it's Birmingham, but
we plan on going anyway.
I'm not gonna be able to make it to our Birmingham game this year because once again that's my anniversary weekend. I tried to talk the wife into taking an anniversary trip to Birmingham, but for some reason she didn't go for it.
She just wouldn't take that. Huh? That's I hear everybody talking about how bad they want to get there for their anniversary.
I said it's beautiful
Top 10
this time
for
of year,
sure.
but
Yeah. Well, I think just about every place is beautiful every time of year, as long as there's football there. So,
exactly.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, we're definitely excited for this upcoming season. We're definitely excited to travel to Michigan. I've always wanted to, check out Ford Field, not during, the regular football or the NFL season, right? Because all those Lions fans are going to be around. So this will be nice. I can actually, check it out without the insufferable, northern nemesis that we have with you guys. No, I'm
hang out with two annoying, Lions fans. We'll show you around Ford Field.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Just show me around, the good parts, not like, underneath the building, then lock me in a basement somewhere.
There's plenty. There's plenty of those around.
No, again, we're super excited. We've met a lot of cool people in our travels, like the boatsman with Memphis, the DC Defender over in DC, and then Captain Obvious and the whole squad there. Heck, even the mayor, the Seattle's fan. He's the mayor of the XFL, right? We've met a lot of cool people in our travels, and I'm excited and looking forward to meeting a lot more. And even in Birmingham, I know there's got to be some cool fans there. So we're waiting to meet them. Hopefully that'll
flush them out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Because
apparently Birmingham likes fat guys that take their shirt off. So I mean, me and Jay will fit right in.
There you go. Right. Heck, we'll probably
does his when the Lachona comes on, though. So
Oh yes. That's a whole different thing. It's a whole different story. We can't share it here.
Well,
Go
got
ahead,
anything
Jeff.
else, Lauren?
No, I was thinking about wrapping it up. We're approaching an hour.
Yeah, I gotta go get some dinner.
Yes,
there you
sir.
go.
But
Heck yeah, man.
we appreciate you guys coming on. If you guys want to tell the people where to follow you guys at, where they can get a hold of Horns Forward.
I mean, you go to Horns Forward Podcast. We're on Facebook. All the good stuff. YouTube.
X,
Twitter, Twitter, or
yeah.
X, whatever. It's Twitter. It'll always be Twitter.
Yeah, Instagram, all the social medias.
How do you
right?
send an X? I don't send an X. I still am tweeting.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a question above my pay grade, man. I can't answer that.
Yeah, you can find us there. You can also find us, like I said, we both do our Texans Talking Football. That's all all year round, all football, mainly from a Texas perspective. But this guy's a Green Bay fan, so we talk about all stuff all the time. So
yeah, even the pain that BD has gone through as a Cowboys fan for the last 30 something years, we definitely touch on that too. So, but yeah, you can find us anywhere on social media. Just look either for Horns Forward Podcast or Texans Talking Football, and we're all going to pop up somewhere. So
Okay.
give us a follow, give us a like.
All right.
Yep. All right. Well, like Lauren said, I appreciate you guys coming on and joining us. We'll have to see if we can't come on and talk to you guys some more on your side.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was
guys
great.
Definitely
great
welcome anytime
you
you
guys, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, all part of the AFN group. I don't know which corner
All
it is.
part of
I'm
the
all
AFN
bad
family.
at this, but
Yep. We're all part of AFN.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna call that the show tonight, guys. Remember to like, share, follow My Panther Pride on all socials. Got it up there on the screen right now. Check out, get some Dubby, some energy drink. Use code MPP10 to save 10% off. And as always, Panther fans, remember, let's hunt. Why didn't end?